This is the Wandering Mike.
Welcome everyone to the Wandering Mike. Today I'm here with Artur. Hey Artur, how you doing?
Hey, good. And you?
Beautiful. It's a
Good.
nice Sunday. Weather's, I don't know, it started being windy again, but
Well, that's chill. It's
It-
warm wind.
speak for yourself. Yesterday the
True.
wind was a bit cold for me.
Okay, yeah.
But again, for you, it's probably summers.
Yeah. Coming from Estonia, the weather in Australia it's always summer. It's always summer because we just came through the winter, and back at home it's also summer right now. So
Right.
we're in the winter and they have the summer. And of course I speak with them, and every day they had colder weather
Really?
than we had here. Yeah. Because they had 14 degrees and 10 degrees, and it was like windy and raining.
Right.
We had sunshine and everything was fine.
Oh,
So
that's
even
fun.
during summer, it's hotter here.
That is crazy.
And there were like multiple, like maybe half of the time, it was 7 to 10 degree difference.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, I guess, the climate is like way different here. Like it's borderline tropical already here in Queensland. And then, in Estonia, it's, what do you call that kind of climate? Like northern climate?
Yeah, you could call it that, I guess.
Um,
But yeah, it's 4 good seasons, and winter's -20. So, and lots of snow. Snow over like, what is it, 1 meter, 80 centimeter is normal.
right.
Yeah, that's when I like to go outside. I wait for the full moon, and it's deep in the winter, and then I go into the forest because the animals are active, and I like to just hear and observe and see what happens. And there's a lot of blood when you go out because, I don't know, foxes, wolves also go around, but they don't come that close to the human settlements. But there is a lot of killing around, so I don't know, some foxes maybe eat some birds or rabbits and stuff. And some deers and stuff go lost. And you see the blood and everything on the ground. It's kind of cool. I like it.
That I just tried to imagine that in my head. I did actually. Like I had a bit of a picture with everything because you go out in the full moon because you have like a lot of light, I guess. And
There's more light,
like
yeah. And all animals are more active during the full moon.
right.
It's with I don't know if every living being, but most that are in sunlight, the living things, they are more active during full moon. It's like psychologically somehow connected to us.
Oh wow.
Because I first heard about it from, when maybe I was a kid, from stories and from movies, of course, I heard from there. And then I started learning more deeply about it. And the first thing that was interesting I found is from Indian yogic culture,
Right.
where they explained that there is a connection between humans and the planetary system around us. If some of the planets would be closer or farther away, then the human would develop and evolve a little bit differently. But the thing is, I don't have proof of it, that it does happen like this, so I can't fully accept it. I don't believe it. But I take it as an understanding that it may be like this. Then I moved on, and I met a person that's working in a hospital, so driving the hospital car. So I asked them, do you have, on the full moon days, do you have more calls? Do people go more insane? What happens? And they were like, yes, it's like 20 or 15 to 20% more calls during the full moon time than the regular normal days. So, and then I had another friend also in ER, that's in the hospital when the medical emergency. And also asked them, and they get more calls or more people come in. And I was working with, I wasn't working, but a tryout day, helping kids in need. And there I met a wonderful woman. She's a lady, a bit older, and she has worked all her life with people with problems.
Mm.
And I asked her also on the full moon, have you seen something weird? And she told me that schizophrenic people, they turn the most, they go the most crazy.
Right.
Everything they see, it's more vivid, it's more real to them, it's more stronger effect. Also seen a little bit on autism. The people start to show
Right.
more of those aspects. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of other bipolar, where emotional moods go like
Hmm.
also affected, but we don't know, like all of them are affected. We don't know how much. But yeah, like, and that's just the moon, because moon is the closest one to us. It is
Right.
like we have a lot of connection to it because it's close. But the planets that are further away, they have smaller connections because they're further away. But they
Right.
still have some tiny significant that may play a role in like the human. Yeah, so the planets affecting humans basically.
So when you go out into the forest and you basically observe, did you then also see something happening with the animal? Like you said, they're more active, but is it what kind of activeness is it? Are they also, because you said they just go out killing, so is it more aggressiveness? Is it more just activeness in general? What did you observe?
Mm, I can't put it to words myself. I mean, what I observed is just animals being active.
Right.
Yeah, because usually during that time they just sleep or rest or do something else,
Right.
like resting activity. But then there's moonlight, they're more active, more they have to escape, run, whatever from the predators because predators are also active. It's the full moon.
Right.
So everybody's active.
And
Yeah. Because it's the human, not the human, but living organism has the mechanism of the full moon, so everything turns more active.
that that's
Mm.
actually very interesting. Do you think, because all of the things that we like invent for entertainment, like vampires and that stuff, like everything has like their like a core somewhere why we make stories about it. And obviously werewolves come out in the full moon, so you think that has to do with it, because the werewolf's basically a human that just turns and then can't control their actions pretty much.
Yeah, it would make like because where the stories come from, they're always symbolism, metaphors.
Yeah.
So it could bring out that like back in the days when men were more violent,
Mm.
it brings out the werewolf in them. The
Right.
beast, where they're more like, "Rah," you know?
Yeah.
Because back in the days, what did the boys do after work, or after war? They were drinking and then, or doing other stuff, of course.
Yeah.
And people act more crazy, like under LSD and stuff as well. Mushrooms, the full moon comes out, you have a little bit stronger effect because your body is already in the zone.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where the dragons come from.
That would have been my next question. Mm. Yeah, no, yeah, the symbolism and all that it's very interesting. And that story just got us down a bit of a rabbit hole. So um it was super fascinating for me though, because I never thought about it in that way, about the full moon and what effect it actually has. Um Maybe we can just go back a bit now and
Yeah.
just start talking about you in general.
Yeah.
So we've learned that you are from Estonia. We learned that the summer there is colder than the winter in Queensland, which is still crazy. Um, so, anything else you want to share with the people, just so they get a bit of a picture of yourself?
Mm, oh, yeah. So, okay, back to basically beginning. So it's easier to go that way.
Yes, it is.
So I'm 26 years old. Uh, I like to learn about the world that's around me. That includes physics, chemistry, science, psychology, just nature overall,
Mm.
and of course, religion. Uh, I don't know, I studied mechatronics. So
Right.
that's electronics, programming, and mechanics combined into one. It's really good to get an overall base knowledge, but it's meant so that you go study something else after this to get like more specialized degree.
Right.
But I never did that because I lost interest of the subject.
Mm.
After finishing the school, I did become the teacher in that school.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so that was for a month.
Hmm.
There was a lot of pressure, and I didn't really like to be in front of the class
Right.
because I was usually at the back of the class. So I was the funny guy. I was the guy that was get thrown out of class multiple
Right.
times because I didn't shut up.
Mm.
Uh, I was doing well with grades in a sense that uh, most of the year I had bad grades. And then like the last
Wait.
semester or the last point, I fixed all my grades and then they let me pass and everything was fine again. But my, like the head of class or the person, she hated me. Because every time I have bad grades, the director of the school was like, oh, this student is doing bad. You have to like get him on the line, you know?
Right.
So she tried her best, really angry, really sweet, everything.
Right.
Nothing worked. I didn't care. I had my system, it worked, I stick to it. And yeah, usually my grades were like middle, or a little bit below. I finished school with like most of the best grades. I didn't have anything down like from the mid grade. Everything was above. So for us, it was 5 and 4. That 5 is the highest grade.
All right.
4 is the next. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. That's the thing, because otherwise,
And what was a passing grade? If you had a 3, is that passing? Is a 2 still passing? What's a...
yeah. So on certain tests, 3 is okay. That's 50% of the answers answered correctly.
Right.
And some of the tests, they require you to have at least 75%.
Okay.
Because some of the tests that we do included like higher voltages, and it's like it's not like surgery, but in surgery you have to get 100% because you can't fuck up. You can't. It's not a lot. Like there's no room for it.
Yeah, 95% isn't good enough.
Yeah, and similar to electricians. At some point you can't make fuck ups anymore. It's
Right.
too much. Yeah. So you have to pass 75 or 80 or even 95%.
Right.
But yeah, it was an easy school to pass. I got all the general knowledge I needed. I excelled in home automation. A lot of electronics came also easily. The hardest part was programming. And it wasn't like a regular programming like Python or JavaScript or something like that. It was in the production factories, you have the lines that are moving the products, and you have some machines that are working on them. Like they're heating up some element that's on the production line. Then a stamp is pressed against it. So we program those lines.
Right.
So it's a little bit different programming. It is quite simple in its essence.
So basically is based on physical formulas, right? It's
Yes.
based on what heat you need to reach, what kind of, I don't know, like how it need to cool down maybe after, like some sort of those properties.
So you tell him like, okay, at that moment you turn on the heater stays on 10 seconds, then the piston moves down, and then it moves up again, starts the cooling process. So you turn down the heat, and the line moves on again, and then there's the next element as something else.
Right. So the from what you just told us, it's like a very clear picture, at least to me, of someone who's like just very curious, and you're trying to find a way with the things that school offers, because like for a lot of questions, school just frankly doesn't offer any solutions. But like you said, one of the ways to understand the world that academics has a solution for is physics, is chemistry, is like these kind of mathematical solutions. So makes sense going into mechatronics, like you said, which is also very broad. So it gives you like a lot of overview of these things. Do you feel like, or to what extent did studying mechatronics fulfill your curiosity for the world? And in what extent did it not help you fulfill that curiosity?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
So, what it filled for me was the general knowledge from science, because that's where all the natural laws come in.
Yeah.
So you learn like there's electric force, gravitational force on the atoms. There's small forces, big forces. That's applying to everything. So you get the fundamental understanding. Then what the school also had was I got a trade, so I got a skill.
Right.
So it prepared me for the workforce, and I could have stayed on that path and got a good job on that and worked my way up. But as I said, I kind of did lost interest in it because now we get to the second part. It didn't fulfill everything that I wanted because it is a general based knowledge. It doesn't go deeper anywhere. And pretty soon I realized that in school, I don't have the attention to study what I need to study.
Right.
Because if there is one topic that I'm not interested in, I don't have the attention for it and I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah.
I've tried doing it. I tried to find some solutions how I can concentrate, but it hasn't worked out really well that far. Meditation is one part that has helped quite a lot actually, but it is difficult to stay disciplined with meditation. The school, I felt it feels like bragging, but I felt like I was a little bit too smart for that place, that I should have gone to a better school, because it is a trade school. It's not like a university or college where you get like more.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a lower tier
'Cause
education.
it is more practically based as well
Yes.
than theoretically.
Yes.
Right.
And I really like experimental science or something with chemistry involved in it and some biology, because that's where I feel I'd excel. Because after I got home from primary school, I started making my own experiments. I was always in my room. I was like I don't know, my room was filled with stuff. My floor was full. You had like a little space where to step your foot in, and then you had to choose like tiptoeing to get to the other side of the room. It was filled with everything. And I did experiments where I filled my whole room full of gas. So I took a candle, I put a little metal washer on it, and I basically made a small smoke machine that was filling my room with paraffin gas.
Right.
And I stayed in that room for over an hour with everything closed. I had my curtains on, and because I bought a laser, and I wanted to do laser like tricks, and I started to learn about it.
Right.
So I was always hands-on. I wanted to see what it does and how it affects something.
Yeah.
So that's why the experimental science, hands-on, doing something. And of course, it's recommended not to look into the laser. I spent 10, 15 minutes looking into it, trying to figure out exactly how it goes, how the light comes out, how it bends. Because when I shoot the laser in the eye, I'm not only observing the light that's coming from that, I'm also observing how I am reacting to the light, how my brain is doing, how my eye is doing. Do I feel some hurt? How is it everything
Right.
affecting? So it's not always the experiment that's external. It's also, I try to keep an eye on what happens internally during those experiences. That's like a double understanding then, because I learn about myself and about the world around.
Yeah. That's really interesting because, I mean, what that sounds like to me is obviously it happens on different levels now because our technology is way more advanced than it was, for example, when Benjamin Franklin and all these people were inventing stuff. But it sounds a bit like, yeah, you're one of these inventors. You know, you like you're sitting around, like you said, you just have that stuff around, and you're interested, and you want to see what it does, how you can use it, what you can
Yeah.
make of it. Is there, like, you just shared the story with the laser. Is there anything else where you want to share, like, a story? Because it sounds like you experiment with things and you think about why you experiment with it. Like there is something you want to get out of it. Is there any other stories like that that you have?
Yeah, so I used to make a lot of stuff. One was in 8th grade, we have to choose one subject from school. We chose art, me and my best friend, and we built a 3-meter robot costume that you put on yourself, or like you have to equip it. And the boots were about 70, 80 centimeters high, maybe. So you had to climb into it, and then you fix your legs up and everything. And the costume, the thing is, we had to choose a topic that what kind of art it is. And the only thing that I could do was trash art. So everything I used was something thrown away. My mother was working in what's it called? A big factory where they make cable bundles for Scania trucks. And they had a lot of like how's it called, cardboard tubes, and then also the cables, they are put in metal plastic, like this tube basically. So I had a lot of different varieties of materials to use, because my mother was working in like a big factory basically. So I used their trash. I built up the robot. I added some LEDs and some stuff myself.
Oh wow.
At the same time, I was prototyping with flamethrowers that were like on the handheld. They were on the hand. So when you move your wrist, they start to shoot the flame. And then like this, I tried different designs.
Some motion sensor, motion activated, basically.
Yeah, you just have a wire that presses a switch either way, or pulls a switch.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that complicated to do. A little bit learning, everybody can do it. But yeah, I also, because I was making flamethrowers at the same time, then I asked my art teacher that is helping with the project, that could I put the flamethrower on the cardboard built robot? She told me no for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why she wouldn't want that?
But we have to, we also had to present it. So, and the last day came, like before the presentation, me and my best friend, we stayed up for, I don't know, maybe 3 in the morning. We were finishing the painting. We used like air spray, or what you call it, the can sprays.
Yeah,
The
like
can
what you do
sprays.
for graffiti. And
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. We used that to paint most of the costume, and we did it on our balcony, and we were painting maybe for 6 hours. We took turns, and then we had a break, because after like half an hour or an hour, you feel really dizzy.
From the
We didn't have a mask or anything. We were just on the balcony having fun and just chatting and just spraying it, you know. But yeah, then slept a couple of hours, went to the school, brought the costume and everything. We had to make, the smell was still fresh. From before. And then I get into the costume, my friend gets ready for the presentation, so he will do all the talking and everything, and I just have to sit in there and maybe raise an arm and do something.
Mm.
And I start feeling dizzy in that helmet because we
Oh,
painted the helmet as well, and it gets
right.
right into it. So I start like going a little bit really dizzy, head turning a bit. And then the director came and asked like, "Oh, are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, yeah, I'm good. We can keep continuing this. Luckily, it was only 10 or 15 minutes left. So after this,
And you can breathe again.
yeah. No, the presentation went well. We got the best 5, good grade. And
I would
after
have been
that,
disappointed if you didn't. So much effort to put it in the school project. That's so cool. Yeah.
yeah, I also wanted to make like a skeleton for it or like a stand where you could put the robot costume on so it would stand on its own.
Right.
Because otherwise it needed a human inside to stand. Yeah.
Right.
But I never did it. And I think the art teacher is really, not really mad, but a bit mad at me. Because what I did 2 years later was, I don't know, there was a small sitting at my grandma's and grandpa's place where we came together with friends. And I think we were drinking a little bit and stuff. So I put the costume on and I went to beat them with this. But it's like soft material, you know? So during the beating, I completely broke the whole costume and everything. But the thing was, the costume was sitting for 2 years. It hasn't seen like daylight or anything. It was getting a little bit moldy already.
Right.
So I had to do something about it. And yeah, then I just beat it all up. And of course, I did few hits on my friends because it's a big, clunky costume. I don't have much agility, you know? So I can do like few hits as a funny thing. And as soon as they realize they can fight back, they can just like rip my arm off, push me over, and that's it for me.
Right. You're standing on like 70 centimeters
Yeah,
high.
yeah. And yeah, then I just burned it. And there went the project. And maybe a year or 2 years later, I saw the art teacher and she asked me about the costume. And her face, she was not happy. Because she wanted to like put it in the school on display, actually.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
But she didn't do anything for 2 years.
Yeah, so she didn't know I was gonna do that with it.
Yeah.
I guess she guessed I will keep it. But yeah,
Right.
no. But I also made tasers and stick tasers. So those are handhelds. They basically look like a tube.
Right.
You have a button and they just tase. They're like boring. The one I liked is, you know, when you're driving a bike or learning, you have those plastic hand covers that are like protecting your hand when you fall.
Yeah.
So I used one of those. I put 2 screws on top where the knuckles are and connected the taser electrodes to that. Yeah, so every time I punch somebody or someone, the screws go inside through the clothes, and then the electrodes are inside the skin or close to the skin. And then I had a button inside of the palm. So if it's in a fist anyway, it's on, basically. So I get hit, and as soon as the hit lands, fist closes more, presses the button, and they get the electric shock as well. But working on that glove was really painful because I had to get the distance right from the screws and my knuckles. Because if it was wrong, I'm shocking myself. And that thing can travel like 1.1 centimeters, the arc from the taser. So I tase myself like 7, 8 times. Every time it's like, you know, you don't want it to happen again. But yeah, no. During that also, you learn a lot about pain and how to handle pain. Because now I'm not reacting to pain same ways as I used to before those projects. Because I know the pain signal is coming. That's the internal part that I learned from the external projects now.
Right.
Because I was getting used to shocking myself, basically. With the flame thingy, or the flamethrower that was on my hand, one hose came loose and it started spitting like flame near me. It was for a couple of seconds until the pressure was gone. but it burned my arm here and it went really close to my face. There's a lot of risk that I'm now used to because of those projects. Multiple times where I could have blown myself up.
So that's kind of what I wanted to ask as well. Do you feel, I mean, for yourself, is that more a good thing or more a bad thing that you now, like, kind of, like you said, used to the pain, that you don't have maybe as much fear of it as well as you used to? I mean, it can be helpful, but it can also be dangerous, I guess.
Yeah, in a sense it can be dangerous, but I'm kind of a pussy person. I'm afraid of stuff. So getting more used to pain and taking more risk is really healthy for me, actually.
Right.
But the thing is, I have my stupid moments where I take stupid risks. And then that's a bad situation. I feel bad after this. I realized that things could have gone wrong, a lot worse. They did not. I'm really happy to all those moments. There's quite a lot of them. Yeah, because I have had moments where I could hurt myself or people around me, and a couple of times it has happened, but not in like hospital way, just like small hurts or like nothing big. Luckily, it's just few ha ha ha, and we get more along, and everything is fixed. But yeah, so there are certain moments where to take those risks, but I never kinda had. Why I take those risks is because I don't want it to sound wrong, but I care if I die, but I don't care if I die. You get what I mean?
Right.
Because I can do the experiments on behalf of my health, on behalf of my anything, because like my body is my resource. It's mine. I can do what I want. So I can damage it in a way as I like. I can take care of it as a way I like. Of course, I have to respect my body because I have done a lot of bad to it, but I'm also trying to keep it as healthy as possible. Of course, I smoke and stuff. I have my addictions. I'm not perfect, but yeah. Food, mental stuff, sports, I try to keep them always in my life.
I will use that just because of the way you just phrased it. It's like, and I agree with everything you said. You are in charge of your body. You should have the right to do with it whatever you want. Um, just because you also mentioned religion in the beginning as something where you're generally interested in how the world works, all these kind of things. You mentioned religion in there as well. Um, so, what do you? I hope it's not too big of a question, but
It's fine.
why do you or think that you're here? What do you think is the reason that we are put in this body and are here on this earth?
Yeah, okay. So I have this. For me, like after death, it's complete darkness. Darkness. There's nothing after death for me.
Right.
So for me, there's no reason why we're here. There's no God up above. There's no. The one thing, there could be an entity like that's more powerful than us,
Mhm.
but I don't think it would like take care of human beings. Why would that serve his interest or its interest?
Mhm.
It would have no reason to meddle with our life. So, wait, sorry, what was the question again?
Uh, yeah, why do you think we're here? And also, why do you think you have the body that you have been given and all these
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
things?
So, mostly I believe in evolution, and the body is just from time. Everything. Phew, yeah, no. When I start thinking about evolution, it's just so complex. The window of time and living organism evolving from a small piece
Right.
to all the way over what's happening now. and what all those living things have created. Because even a worm, like a worm on the ground, he produces some nutrients that are living matter for the rest of the things, for the plants that they need.
Right.
So all of us are doing something. Horses are pooping, cows are also pooping, and then hooving it down and pressing the earth down so the new plants can grow in it. All the living things are producing something important in this world. And like human, we produce also a lot. And as a human being, or like every living thing, we have a need to evolve or make the next generation better. Because think what we are as a race, if our next generation come out worse. If our children are physically more not adapt as us, if they're mentally like ADHD, their mind is all around, they can't focus anymore.
Right.
If that's our next generation, then our generation fucked up really bad. Because our race is depending on next human beings. And yeah.
So let me ask you a question, because I think I've voiced my opinion on this podcast a couple of times, talking about social media, talking about the internet. I also always said that there is really good sides to it, and it is very useful if you use it in a productive and efficient way. But also, there is a lot of distractions. There's a lot of dumbing down. And so I would say, to what you just said, we are on a really bad way of that potentially happening. What you just said, our next generation being worse off than we have been. What's your view on that? Do you have a more positive outlook?
No. Short answer is no. I think we have already fucked up a bit. But human beings have not the ability, but they always come back. They always save themselves. It's like everything new that came, like nuclear power, we made a bomb out of it. And now we're regulating the bombs that we made out of it. Because it's too dangerous for us. We can't handle it.
Yeah.
So same thing now goes with the internet. At first it was just a military communication device or like platform. Now I don't know what it is anymore. It's probably too big. So it grew, internet grew, and in Europe there's already regulation. I mean, regulation has been going on for 20 years. I don't know, when people started posting really like people killing, rapes and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, then the regulations came. So we try to fix everything that we do. And everybody is aware nowadays that Instagram Reels, that what they do to our brain. Everybody is educated on the matter now. Now the only thing is, because the device is smarter than us. We're not equipped to... I think we are equipped to say no to that device. But the device is really attractive to us. So it takes some clarity in mind to stay away from the phone. Because you have to remind yourself, what harm is it causing to you? How does it affect your life? I just lost the YouTube Premium, and because of the package stuff, and it showed me that I had 1,500 hours of watching shorts.
Right.
1.5 thousand hours.
Yeah, that's
54 days of just watching shorts.
right.
And after I saw that, I was like, all right, YouTube and YouTube Shorts is gone. Of course, I'm getting ads now, so I'm quitting the platform anyway.
Yeah.
But that number really made my decision.
That's something I think that most people don't even realize. And I mean, with me, it's the same. Like, I'm not on Instagram a lot just because I don't like the platform. I never had like a private Instagram. I have one now for the podcast, to market it and all that. And even now, if I go on Instagram to just do what I need to do, to put up a post, to put up a story, at the end, I always end up scrolling through those things because it's just, and that's also something we need to keep in mind is because you said the device is attractive to us, but it is because that's also the way it was programmed. It is meant to be this attractive. It's meant to like spark you. Oh, I want to see like what's happening in my phone, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we're all educated on the matter that it's addicting, but then again, at the same time, we're putting billions of dollars and currency into it to make it more addictive.
Yes.
So, because there are some people that making it more addictive, and then there are other people saying it's too addictive and stay away from it. So there's kind of like a battle going in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody's profiting of it. I mean, a lot of people are profiting out of it. Because I mean, Facebook, Google, what are they? They are the top companies in the world,
Yes.
and they have the internet, the basic function of it. Yeah.
It's, yeah, in a way, that's why I'm also a bit scared of the internet. Also now with AI coming in. But like I said, obviously Google very early on just hit a jackpot with basically because I do believe in the beginning it was obviously just someone who found, oh, how can I help people? People want to find something, I can give them the results. But then once they figured out, oh, I control the results, you know, like there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. And now also with all these AIs, it's to me, it's crazy. Like even here, like when we're sitting in the kitchen and we're having a conversation, when I was growing up, we didn't have any phones, and we were like, "Oh, so what do you think about it? What do you think?" And we just exchange opinions, and we get to like, may sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't agree. But now, after like 30 seconds, someone says, "I'll ask ChatGPT," and so we're not even thinking for ourselves anymore, but we're just accepting whatever the machine puts out for us.
Yeah, it is really concerning. Uh, I used GPT for like year and a half before I got here, so I'm quite used to it. Back in the days, there was Cleverbot. I used that as well.
Hmm.
I was really fascinated by the idea of AI.
It is very fascinating.
It's amazing tool. Like,
Yeah.
it's the best. Yeah, I could say it's the best tool we have created that's like intellectual level right now. But using it, my brain is just dumb. It's gotten so lazy that I know that ChatGPT has all the answers. I'm not memorizing stuff anymore. And that's
Right.
like that's when the internet and the phone came basically.
Yeah.
Why you need memory when you have everything here now? Your body goes least resistance, least energy. And as soon as it clicks in the brain, as soon as your body understands that, then it's not using your memory anymore. So that's evolution that we're going through now. And now we have AI, so we don't have to think anymore either. So no memory, no thinking. And what made us human was the memory and thinking.
Exactly.
But yeah, I did some practices, just like mental mathematical calculations
Hmm.
to keep my brain more active and being able to think complex tasks. Because when I came out from school, my mind was so fresh. I could think really like far
Yeah.
ahead. I could remember multiple parts of the conversation, pick something out and go with that. My mind was well built, but now it's just a foggy mess. Things come, things go, sometimes this, sometimes that. There's a very little structure in it now. And also, the thoughts or the thinking pattern is not very long. It usually
Mm.
stays like in one topic for, let's say, like 3 or 4 sentences, and then it goes to another topic already. So there's no
Jealous.
streamlined thoughts. It's crazy everywhere around. So that's why I started doing mathematical training. So I take like a uh, 3 spot number, so like 311, and
Mm.
you add or multiply. When it's multiplication, I usually do like below 10
Yeah.
because it's hard sometimes when you get big numbers.
Yeah.
Because what I tried the importance of the big numbers is that you have to memorize the big number, and then you have to make an action on that memory of that number. So that trains your body or your mind that you have something like separate, and you do have to have an action to that thing. And
Right.
now with mathematics, you can have that number that you also have to subtract or also add, or it has some other term in or some other action connected to it. So that opens your mind really. You see one thing and it opens it to go multiple pathways. So it helps you see from different angles. Mathematics is amazing what it does to your brain. It's not just like the numbers and the calculations you do, the stuff, how it trains your brain. That's the real magic of mathematics for me. Of course, some people like mathematics because it's also good. You can describe the current world around you
Yeah.
with just numbers and parameters. Can do all the calculations because in mathematics, that's where we found like most of the laws of the universe and everything. It's all mathematics calculations, observes.
Yeah, that's why what I found or find really interesting about mathematics as well, because when I was younger, I, similar to you, loved mathematics, loved physics, wasn't the biggest fan of chemistry and biology. I was
Mhm.
always more theoretical in that sense and not um, too practical. Um, but I was also very interested in philosophy. And then I also learned that a long, long time ago, these things were basically not the same, but kind of similar things, because you are in philosophy trying to explain the world, and in mathematics, you're doing the same thing. You just, instead of using words, you're using numbers. So that is what you just said, kind of the thing that interests me a lot about it. And then when I was in school, I also had a teacher who always, because he saw how interested I was, like he always told me things that were more on like a university level already, like when he brought up like Fibonacci and stuff like that, and things where you could really apply the mathematics to the outside world as well. Um, that's what I always liked, and just the pure logic in it, that you can really, like, it makes sense. Like that's the beauty of mathematics. Like it will always make sense. Where compared to philosophy, for example, you can go around different ways and there's more
Yeah.
like different views on it. But in mathematics, like you said, 311 times 9 is always going to be the same answer.
Yeah, yeah.
And it has that finality to it.
Yeah, it's a constant. That's the way yeah, it's mathematics.
Um, no,
Yeah. So you like yeah, I can never say the word philosophy. Yeah.
yeah.
What was like the most interesting part, or like what had the most influence on, I don't know, you, and what changed your life that you have learned through philosophy?
So I think the first, no, I know, like the first thing that I got in contact with philosophy was actually in religion class. Because I don't know
Oh.
how it works in Estonia, because it's different in all the countries, but in Germany, you have religion in school. Like it's part of the school curriculum. And
Yeah.
depending on if you're Catholic or Protestant, you have then Catholic class or Protestant class. And and then we explored in class some philosophical concepts. And the first one that was introduced was Plato's cave theory. Don't know if you're familiar
Yeah, I know.
with it. And basically, to me, it just, I
Mm.
immediately then questioned everything. Like, either way, I was never really, even when I was in school, like I had the things that interested me, but I also knew, even if I'm going to study, which I did, I ended up studying environmental engineering, but I knew I was never going to find a job, work a job until I'm like 65 or whatever the age is right now. Um, I never had that traditional outlook on life anyway. But then it kind of started like, yeah, what is our cave? Maybe is the school system still a cave? Maybe is even the capitalist system still a cave? And just from that point on, I obviously hold my own beliefs, but I also always knew that every other person's belief also has their rights. So I always try to really listen to everyone and see, okay, what's your opinion on the matter? And even if I don't agree, maybe can I learn something from the way you see it? And because we all maybe also look at things at the same thing, but we see it differently. And yeah, so that was for me the introduction to philosophy. And then when I learned more about it, the one I personally um, really like that spoke to me was Stoicism. So that one, Stoicism basically then built the way I approach life now, and how I try to achieve the things that I can achieve is by just seeing the world as it's happening. There's no good or bad, which helped me to shed like this victimization thing that I did when I was younger as well. It was like, oh, why this, why that? Why is this happening to me? And then I turned it to, what can I do about like this not happening again? And what can I do? And maybe what did I do wrong? And just um so yeah, philosophy went hand in hand also with, like, I'm also a sucker for self-development. So I
Yeah.
read a lot of books on that as well. And I feel like the Stoic philosophy just helps you have discipline with that as well, and just go out every day, memento mori. I remember that I will die. Just live every day to the best you can, because we don't have unlimited time. Like you said, well, I don't share the belief that everything's dark when you die, but I do
Yeah.
believe, and I mean, we all know that we have limited time on this earth. So
Yeah. That's
um,
good.
you gotta make it count. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the most important things. I always find some theories, or if people tell me a theory I'm not aware of, I'm really happy that I'm like I can learn something new as well, and then always doing these kind of thought experiments with it. But I think those two things really contributed a lot to how I approach life day to day,
Okay.
is Stoicism and Plato's cave theory.
So how would for you go the passing from living to dead? What happens? Or like,
So what I believe
yeah.
is, which also is in a sense scientific, I do believe that we are all energy. So
Yeah.
basically, energy cannot be created or destroyed. What that means, so this is one of the laws in
Yeah.
physics, that energy cannot be destroyed or added into a system. So what that means is that our whole universe um, is the same energy. So basically, when our body dies, it's gonna transform into something else. Um, so what I believe is that everyone has a soul. I believe that in the essence, what we are is our souls, and that the soul will then transpire into a dimension which we cannot comprehend in this material world that we're in right now, which humans operate, which is here on Earth. And basically, um, that is my belief, is that when we die, we will basically go out of the body and only be the consciousness, the soul, whatever you want to call it. But this will remain and will float over into whatever that other dimension is.
I'd really like that to be true. Because I really do wish that there is something, but according to my knowledge, there's nothing, so I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I also had this belief before, and because it does make sense, we are energy that's moving in the brain. There is a lot of mention being like of a soul connected to the human body.
Mhm.
And I mean, when the body dies, it doesn't mean the soul or the energy, it takes a different form. But I think that's when we disconnect, when the death happens, we disconnect from the physical reality.
Right.
Because then our brain does the thinking. Because we have the neurons, and when they go through the neuron, that's some sort of information there. Then we understand it chemically, or I don't know what happens exactly.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't think anyone, even the people studying, know exact what happens in the brain. But that's a whole nother thing. But that's just what I think. We still don't know for sure.
Yeah. So because the electricity goes through the neurons, and I guess the memory is in your body. But like now when you leave the body behind and you go and you disconnect from this reality, then as what, or like how do you exist? What is the nature of your existence? Because the energy, what is energy? It's just it's really difficult to, it's vibration.
Yeah.
It's a form of vibration that can dissipate through the molecules around it, basically. And now when you die, then what happens? Like nothing holds the energy together anymore, because you don't have the physical body or the brain to contain it.
Right.
And to produce new energy to keep it going. And now when you die, then it just dissipates to the surroundings. And for me, because the brain gives us the function to be aware, because people with some brain damage or damage to the brain, they can lose some part of their consciousness. You can lose, like when you damage this part, you like lose your motor skills. You damage back of your eyes, you can lose your eyes and stuff. When you damage the back of the head where the visual cortex is, something can change in the system. So every time you meddle with your brain, you can cause some damage. So, but when you take the brain away, then you just dissipate into the nothingness. But the thing is, for me, it's like getting back together. Because we are never separate from our surroundings. We're always connected in a sense. Because when you were born, you were the molecules in your mother. Before that, you were the molecules in the food that your mother ate that built you, basically. Then you were born, you started eating apples and food and everything, and now you're big apples and food.
Yes.
So you start to accumulate everything. And through all your life, you're always connected to this physical matter, no? Because even air is connected to your skin. There's always a constant, like, same vibration, the energy. You feel the cold or the heat. It's constantly changing, moving. We're all the time connected to this. It went somewhere.
No, it's
Oh yeah, and then when we finally go back, when it's the end, we basically like the body goes back where it needs to go. And like before birth, there was none of me that I know. After I lose the body again, I don't think there's anything left of me to recognize that would be me. So for me, yeah, it goes black.
yeah, I get
Because I don't know soul. Soul is really like difficult concept for me to understand. Similar with energy, because they're not like physical in their nature. And I'm a hands-on experiment. I'm the inventor, so I
Yeah.
need something to touch or for it to understand. But because energy, and of course energy, we can feel it through our body. We can feel, you have you have certain moods, and some days you're energetic, you have ate a
Yeah.
lot of food, you're well rested, you have a lot of energy in that sense. And then there's also like a personality energy. When a person comes in the room,
And
they're like bright, and
right.
some people, you see them and they feel like cloud of darkness or something just came into the room. That's also
Exactly.
energy. So there's so much different energy that's going around. And also like the electromagnetic waves, the light around us, also energy.
Yeah.
The scale of energy, there's so much, the radio waves, the heat, everything is energy. And so far I haven't round my head around energy. It's a concept I don't understand. So, and because for me, soul is highly connected to the energy, then I can't understand it. But it is one thing that I wish to understand. Uh, I have been thinking going to Indian ashram. There's
Right.
there's this yogi where I learned most of the Indian culture,
Mhm.
and I'd really like to go there. They have like, it's Isha Foundation, and they have like 6.7 million or 8 million volunteers. So
Oh,
people helping willingly because
right.
of the teachings he put together and gave to people. So I bought the course he has. I did it a little bit. It was fine, but I kind of fucked it up myself. I wasn't following the rules correctly. Let's
Mhm.
put it like this. But yeah, every time I did the exercises that I recommended, it's really good for your body and everything. You feel relaxed. You're like a spaghetti after it because it is yoga and meditation together combined.
Right.
So it opens your mind in new ways, for sure, and it gets your body up and functional. Because I had like a lot of back problems, and the yoga that I did for like, I only did maybe month and a half. But that thing already started working on my spine
Mhm.
flexibility, and a lot of back pains already went lower. So if I would have continued and done it for maybe like three months, I guess I could have gotten a really good body that's like, and a really good back flexible. And I mean, some people do it for years and years. I mean, that's the point, kinda, because um, it's like when you do yoga, then after a certain point, you reach some understanding and your body goes to a certain state, and you reach the enlightenment state that people talk about a lot. That's like the side product that's gonna happen to you. In meditation, they talk a lot about this superpowers opening up, and they just tell you not to pay attention to it. Just keep moving on, because that's not what you want to get into. There's a lot of uh, because the superpowers, I don't know. It was like the cave. The cave that we have. Is capitalism a cave?
Yeah.
And now imagine, like, if we take everything, all the human inventions away, and we are put back into the nature, then that's the natural way. That's the without the cave. Because there's the
Yes.
sunlight, there's the ground. That's what we were built for.
Yes.
That's what we're meant for. Back then, before we started thinking, nature put together what we are made for, why we came here. We served our purpose, but now we think for ourselves, and now we start to like, huh, what can I do? It's not up to nature anymore. It's not evolution. Now it's the brain and the consciousness.
I I want to ask you
Mm.
one question really, really badly. Just because the way I really like the way you put things as well. I really like the way that you like the words you use when you describe certain things. I really like that. And I just want to say for context, I mean
Yeah.
the people know, but I am a big fan of yoga. I did yoga
Oh.
for a long time in Lisbon, and I just did it actually before coming to Bundaberg, I was in Bali for 10 days and did yoga every day. And again realized after like a week, oh, how unflexible I was and how more flexible I got again. And also how I calmed down a bit more and all that stuff as well. So just for you to know, like, I know what you're talking about there.
That's good.
But I really find this stance so interesting, with someone so deeply rooted in science and like fascinated by scientific things. And obviously, I also know that the concept of a soul, like you said, it is not scientific. It's not at all a scientific thing. So when you talked about the natural way and you saying before we started thinking, so do you think that humans that we are basically that we're now at a, however you want to define better, but that we are better off now that we have done all these inventions, that we know what we can do? Or might it not be better we stay outside, we hide in caves, we interact with the animals and the plants and be more connected in that sense to nature?
I have felt both ways, that it has been good and it has been bad. Now thinking back of it, I think it's all good. Because look at the life we're living.
Yes.
I don't know where burgers live outside. So yeah, no, I'm really happy with the inventions and where the humankind has come. Because the inventions, they have been something and something, like really good and really bad.
Right.
But humans, they survive, they find the balance, they will fix what they did wrong.
Right.
And eventually, right now, because I think we're really exploring the science to its limits, basically.
Yes.
I don't know any other like subject that's being pushed so far, because like chemistry, biology, like they're really far out there and they have given us so much information in this world.
Yeah.
It may have left us a little blindsided about the rest of the world. So we're not that focused maybe on the human parts anymore. We're observing the technology and what technology can do.
Right.
But it has always been this way with capitalism and modern world, as far as I know. But I think eventually we will find a balance, because new generations, they are used to this new technology and everything. I hope they maybe have our inner call for the nature to go look at the forest and chill over there, because there are a lot of young people, they care about nature, they care about the environment. They want to get really like good quality food, healthy food when they get the options. And I have good belief in like the future generations that are coming. I think their mind is in the right place. The mind that's left anyway.
Yeah.
All the reels.
The parts that we didn't screw with.
Yeah.
No, I also obviously don't think that how we live right now is all bad. Obviously, I will probably be one of the first people to die if I was put out in the wilderness, to be completely honest with you. So obviously, I don't want a world where I have to worry every single day. Am I going to get eaten? Am I gonna, am I gonna survive even because I don't hunt anything?
Yeah.
But it's kind of to that point as well. It's that I just don't want the connection to nature to get lost. Like we're building more and more cities. We're putting more and more people in like smaller and smaller spaces. And just that's why I really also like a place like Bundaberg. I like places like this where you can still, you're surrounded by nature. You're also not too far away from the beach. You know, you have the ocean, which also is its own kind of energy that the ocean brings. So um, I I just don't want to lose that part of life, like being connected to the nature. That's what, like you said, that's what put us here. So we can't
Yeah.
lose that connection.
For like different people are with different sensitivity, but every time I moved to the capital in Estonia, I was away from nature and I became more and more depressive. It went harder and harder. As soon as I went back home, I touch a tree, I walk around in the forest,
Right.
I feel like a connection and I feel better already. And I'm definitely gonna live near a forest. Because humans, I don't know, I think humans were used to moving around a lot because like back in the days, you were like traveling with a group from one place to another before the humans settled down.
Right.
It was always traveling around. You had your own mates and you went around the world. I'd like to follow that rules. Or like,
That doesn't sound too bad. Though.
yeah, it's the modern day hunting.
Exactly. And
yeah,
I mean, just because you brought up travel, I mean, obviously, we also, and I shouldn't complain about inventions because that's how we got here, you know, that's how it's even possible for us to see all of this world and see all these different countries and cultures. Um, because when they traveled before, you know, when the savannah and like took humankind ages, hundreds, thousands of years to just go to different places because were on foot, we were on horses. You know, it took way longer to explore the world.
yeah. You didn't have the cars, planes to go around on the foot, and then, I mean, all the equipment you had, it's all from the nature basically. You had leather hide, you know, and the temperatures, it gets really hot, and you can't be under the UV light. Like back in the days, it was
Right.
even worse. The climate, it was more harsher, and the UV index, we're just good now. We're chill.
That's funny saying that in Australia as well, but
Yeah.
but I know
It was even
exactly what
worse
you
then,
mean.
yeah. But the people were living healthy, you know. But the expect that living is,
Life expectancy.
yeah, 34 years. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That means I have 4 years left to go.
Ooh.
Yeah,
How would that change your life if you had 4 years left to live?
I just wanted to say something similar because I feel like that's why they lived life differently. That's why we maybe, because we know, but in a sense, we also think because as what I mean, like life can be over any second, you know? Like you think you have maybe 40, for me, 40, 50 years left, but you never know it yet. So I feel like people just, live safer now. You know, they live um, with less risk, a thing that we also talked about, a
Yeah.
topic that you also already talked a few things about. And yeah, and that's the thing, like if I knew I had 4 years left to live, I would, well, that's a great question. Because right now, actually, I don't know if I would change too many things. I'm actually quite happy how my life goes just a second. It's an it's an interesting question. But
That's something to be really happy about. That your life is going the way you want and
yeah,
you would go. Or like, yeah, you would keep stuff kind
but
of the
I
same.
would probably just hurry more to see more of the world. If I knew that I had only 4 years left to live, I would probably hurry more to see the places I still want to see. But no, because I really just thought about it, and I I like the routines I have in place. I like how my life is going in general. So I don't think I would change too much about that. And like I said, with the Stoic philosophy, that is kind of where I'm trying to get, that I can really say that for every single day of my life. That's kind of the goal. Where you never be, like you said, 100% perfect, but I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, I just wanted to see how you will answer to the question, considering Stoicism. But yeah. Wait, I had something in mind, but I forgot.
Well, if it doesn't come back in 10 seconds,
No, it's not coming back.
I would love to hear your answer to that question. You
Oh.
had 4 years left to live.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Beautiful.
Okay, yeah. Now, one thing would be similar to also visit more places to see more nature and the world, meet different people, cultures, and try the different burgers in the world. I really like burgers, so I'm trying from different countries everywhere I go. I try to have some burgers.
It is quite a nice food. Burger is a nice thing too. Just like the.
I have like a burger eating rating, and that's how much mess it creates, how to clean your face and stuff, because it has to be part of that. It has to drizzle a little bit over your finger. That's part of the good burger. That means it's juicy, it's well made, you have a lot of stuff in there,
True.
That's what matters. But yeah, I will meditate a lot more, because I will start looking inwards a lot more, because right now for me it's like after death it's completely dark.
Right.
So I need to get that fixed before I die.
Yeah.
My curiosity is not fulfilled with the energy and the soul. So I need to figure it out before I go. So if I knew I have 4 years left to live, I would start hunting it right now. Because it can take a lot of years for your brain to be ready to understand some concept. And even the 4 years may be too late for it, but at least I'll give it a chance then. Because dying early, it's not the only, there are multiple sad parts to dying, of course, but for me the biggest thing would be that I can't explore or get information anymore. I can't understand the world. That would be the biggest takeaway. One thing is also I haven't been really afraid of jails. Of course I'm afraid what happens inside of the jail.
Right.
But I'm not so afraid anymore when I get into one, because I really want to try solidarity. Because when you have done some meditation, then you can go really deep into the meditation state. And I'm thinking why people not just meditate through the solidarity.
Yeah. I totally get what you mean, and
I've never been, so I don't want to say shit.
No, but that's why I had these thoughts sometimes as well, it wouldn't be that bad, but then obviously you also start to romanticize it then a bit, and you have to be careful. But that being said, I talked to one guy in New Zealand. He was his name is Matt. He was Maori, and he basically talked about how he was in prison for 7 years.
Ooh.
And how obviously it wasn't all good, but how it basically saved his life, because he then worked out every day, he read books, he had time to just think about himself, his choices, what he wants to get out of life. And he basically came out then also with this interest for the world, this interest for quantum mechanics and all these kind of philosophical things, and just finding his own way of living a life that he can be proud of. So that was a really inspiring story to me as well, that he told me. And that's why, and that's kind of the thing Like, why is it so hard for us? Like you said, if you had 4 years to live, you would instantly start meditating.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that to ourselves now? Why don't we just say tomorrow, fuck it all, let's go into the woods, let's build a little shed, and let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. But it's not important for us now because
It's not.
we expect we have the time.
Yeah.
So we'll do it in the future.
And I guess that is what it comes down to, right? Longer life expectancy. We have all the time in the world. And obviously, we should also enjoy the things that we as humankind have built. That we have
Yeah.
the shelter, that we have the safety, that we have these comfort and convenience things. You should enjoy them.
Yeah, of
But yeah.
course. Imagine if you're being an inventor. You make stuff like this, and of course, you want people to use it. So every time we use something made by mankind, we can be happy and proud.
As we should be.
Yeah.
As we should be. I think that's a good positive note
Yep.
to end this on. I really, and I honestly mean this, could probably talk to you for 2 more hours. But we shouldn't. We talked about a lot of interesting things, a lot of cool invention stories. I really like the flamethrowers and the robot costumes. And then I always love these kind of philosophical and curious conversations about the world. So thank you, Artur. Thank you for sitting down, taking the time, and doing this.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike, for offering me the chance. It's been a pleasure, and I've always wanted to do this.
Cool. I
Really.
love that you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And it was nice talking with you too. I didn't know you're also into philosophy and you have the deep mind.
Thank you. Well, you're still here a couple of days. We're probably gonna find some time to chat more.
Yeah.
But for now, yeah, just enjoy the rest of the day, and goodbye, everyone.
Yeah. Goodbye.